Imagine you have a modern application with dozens of different backend services. One service handles users, another handles payments, another manages orders, and another handles notifications. Now imagine every user request has to communicate directly with all of these services. Sounds complicated, right? This is where an free gateway comes in. Think of an Amazon gateway as the front door of your backend system. Instead of clients communicating directly with multiple services, they send their requests to the E5 gateway first. The gateway then decides what should happen next. One of its most important jobs is authentication. When a user sends a request, the TFWeb gateway can check their credentials, such as an access token or return key. If the credentials are valid, the request can continue. If they are invalid or missing, the gateway can reject the request immediately. This means backend services don't always have to repeat the same authentication logic for every request. The tight gateway can handle that common security layer at the entry point. But authentication isn't its only job. The second major responsibility is routing. Imagine a user sends a request to get my orders. The query gateway receives that request and knows that the order service should handle it, so it routes the request to the correct backend service. If the user asks for their profile, the gateway routes the request to the user service. If they want to make a payment, it sends the request to the payment service. So the client doesn't need to know where each service is located or how the backend is organized. The TSM gateway handles that complexity behind the scenes, and this creates a much cleaner architecture. The client talks to one entry point. The AFI gateway handles authentication and routing, and the backend services focus on doing their specific jobs. So remember it like this: a read gateway equals the front door of your backend. Asks, are you allowed in? Routing asks, where should your request go? Together, they make communication between clients and backend services more organized, secure, and manageable.